It's a new week, so that means we have a bunch of new iPhone 15 tidbits, so let's delve into it. So it's safe to say last year the regular models were neglected, but this year we should get the Island, the 48 megapixel main sensor, new colors that do actually look quite nice. And now on top of this, we have a rumor regarding a matte finish on the back of these devices, similar to the Pros. So to be honest, I'm quite surprised it took Apple this long to give us the frosted matte finish on the regular models. Yes, I know it's more slippery, but ultimately this does make these iPhones look nicer because there's less fingerprints, and that's always a nice benefit. And so yes, I'm glad we're finally getting this with the regular iPhone 15 series. And because of this, we should now see a glossy camera module on these devices, similar to the Pros, since right now, the regular 14s have a matte camera module with a glossy back, but that should now be reversed. Also on top of this, the source says we should see a new green color for the iPhone 15 that should be similar to the iPhone 12 green, and I'm actually a fan of that mint shade, and so I'm glad we're going to see this color alongside the hot pink and the light blue that's been previously reported. And by the way, would like to remind you guys, like this video and subscribe for more content like this, it would be appreciated. Anyways, let's now move on to the button situation with the iPhone 15 Pros. So Quo gave us a bombshell report and basically said the solid state buttons we've been hearing about are no longer coming to the iPhone 15 Pro. Instead, Apple's going to be reverting back to the normal buttons, and apparently this is because there were some unresolved technical issues with these haptic buttons before mass production. Now apparently, because the iPhone 15 Pro's design is still in the EVT stage, there will be limited impact because of this, and Apple can allegedly change things pretty quick. However, I do have my doubts about this because inside the device at least, there were additional haptic engines for these buttons, and so can Apple simply just remove these haptic engines and have empty space inside the device? Surely the internals would have to be redesigned, and that seems like a strenuous process. And actually, there was a source claiming Apple's actually feeding leakers wrong information about this being cancelled to try and find out sources, which could very well be the case, but Quo is an experienced leaker that's been doing this for many years, and so I doubt he's going to be fooled by sketchy reports. But yeah, I do want to mention another source. The source who was first to give us details regarding the dynamic island on the 14 Pro said, the buttons are still coming, it's too late for these to be cancelled. And so yes, I'm not exactly sure what's going to be the case. Now personally, what I'm hoping Apple does, if it does get cancelled, is keep the current layout, so the action button and the unified volume button, because I think an action button is going to be way more useful than, of course, a mute switch only a portion of consumers are going to use, and I'm fine with the unified design for the volume button, so yes, even if we don't get haptics, I'm still hoping we see the action button on this, as well as a single piece volume button. And actually, we do have some renders from Unknowns 12 showing us how the button layout could be, and yeah, basically this shows exactly what was expected. We have a unified volume button with a split in the middle and the action button to the sides, and yes, I'm looking forward to the action button particularly because if that is user controllable and can of course be mapped to any application or action you want, that's going to be pretty neat. And by the way, Unknowns 12 also says there is a chance the haptic buttons might stay with the 15 Pro, and if Apple does get rid of it, there will be no external changes. This is likely how it's going to look. And by the way, for those curious, we have actual renders of the components. Nothing too exciting there, to be honest. But yes, I'm still hoping we do see haptics, and I was looking forward to it. And yes, I know what you guys are going to say, wow, it's a button, who cares? But hey, haptics are nice. I would like the change, so hopefully Minchi Quo's wrong. Anyways, let's delve into specific details regarding the action button. So according to analyst 941, the action button is going to replace the role of the volume buttons when powering off the device. This makes sense, and the same combination is going to be used to force restart the device. And on top of this, the action button is going to have several camera functions. For example, a short press could be for autofocus, a hard press could be for taking pictures, and a long press could be to record video. And giving the action button more features definitely makes sense, and I'm glad that Apple's replacing the mute switch with this because, as I've said in previous videos, not everyone uses a mute switch. I basically leave my device mute 24/7, so having a button that I can use for other functions is a lot more convenient. And just as I was wrapping this up, now we have an update that apparently Apple has decided to stick to 2 volume buttons. This comes from Unknowns 12, so they backtrack on what they initially said. And yeah, there's not going to be a unified volume button on this. That likely means there's no haptics, but Unknowns 12 does tell us the action button, or the ringer button according to the source, is coming to the 15 Pro. And yeah, this is great news. A customizable button on the iPhone is going to be very useful. And yeah, it seems the unified design we saw in the renders are going to come to the 16 Pro instead. And so yeah, these rumors have been a mess, but it now does seem pretty likely the haptic buttons are not coming to this year's iPhones. So yeah, hopefully there's no delays with the mass production, and I'm hoping that's about it for the solid state button rumors. It's been a mess. Anyways, let's delve into your questions. So Joe, regarding the regular iPhone 15 series, says, I don't have anything to say about this report. A better update from the iPhone 14, but still meh. I guess I'm not the right market for this device. Hopefully it's still not using the A15 Bionic. That would be bad. And yes, I completely agree, the A15 chip for this would be a big disappointment. Yes, I know this chip's still good enough, but for the price Apple's going to charge for this, we should get some future-proofing with a newer chip. And thankfully that does seem to be the case. All reports have been suggesting the A16 chip is going to go in this. Now regarding the other upgrades, I still think this is going to be a pretty decent upgrade. The colors, the 48 megapixel main sensor, the island, those changes are quite nice, and hopefully coupled with a low price, this should be a much better deal. But yes, for the techies out there like yourself, you should get the Pros because those have all the newest features, but for regular consumers, these phones are going to be great. So Timothy Tay says, I'm going to get the iPhone 16, not sure to go with the Pro or the Standard. So actually we do already have some early reports regarding the iPhone 16 series, and it seems the regular models could get some big upgrades. I've heard about triple lenses for the regular models and also the much more efficient A17 chip, but of course with the Pros there is going to be a new Ultra variant that could maybe have better specs. So yeah, just wait for more concrete rumors regarding the iPhone 16 series. So Anthony Miller says, I've still got a 10R that I've been using for many years, and I'm trying to get the iPhone 14. So if you're getting the regular 14, I would say wait for the 15 series, just in case there are bigger upgrades. And if there's not, then of course, just get the 14 for less. In fact, you could find a 14 Pro for the same price as the regular 14, so if you can wait it out, I would recommend doing that. But if you can't wait and you have to buy a device now, then of course, look for discounts on the 14 series. Here in the UK, there's already £150 discounts on all the regular 14 models. And so yeah, check the deals and discounts third-party retailers offer. Anyways, tell me your thoughts regarding this report in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one.